MLB The Show has over 30 programs released already, and we're only in the third inning, more getting added every day. It can be a little bit overwhelming when you only have a little bit of time to grind. So here we're going to rank the programs S through F and help you determine the best way to grind and upgrade your team. Let's lock in. All right, y'all, welcome back to another tier list. This time we are doing something a little bit different. Instead of ranking cards, we're going to go through every program. We're going to talk about the rewards that you get, not only the players, but the packs and the XP. We're going to rank them, help you kind of determine where to prioritize your grind and where to get going. Now, one thing to keep in mind, we're not going to focus on collection part of it because we're going to assume that you're just trying to get these quick upgrades for your team. So yes, you can complete the moonshot collection for Byron Buxton, but it's going to cost you an extra 150k, 200k, something like that to do that. So we're not factoring that in to the rankings. But if you can get free cards from locking in, like I know you can get, earlier cards in the moonshot path, maybe even Yasmani Grandal from the moonshot rewards. So we'll take a look at that and factor that in, but let's go ahead and dive into it. We're starting off with the Spotlight programs. The most recent one is the May Spotlight program with Will Warren. All right, so May Spotlight drop for Will Warren is going to give you a few cards. You're going to get this Nick Enright relief pitcher card, which is not very good. Robert Hassel III is a decent outfielder, but there's definitely better options out there. You're going to get a couple of packs here. It's pretty easy to complete. But that being said, Will Warren, not the best pitcher in the game. Not a huge fan of him. Don't really look to add him to my rotation anytime soon. I mean, honestly, we're probably going to start this one off with an F, bro. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm being harsh and we'll get to some other programs later that bump this up some, but this was not a very inspired drop. Now, the Spotlight drop before that, May Spotlight drop 3, did have Wilmer Flores in it, and Wilmer Flores is a solid card. Only 13 speed, so you may be kind of thinking he's slow, But, I mean, look, 96, 98 against righties, 88, 92 against lefties. He's got 87 vision, 105 clutch, so he's going to bat well with runners in scoring position. Plus, he's got the pinch hitter quirk, so you can bring him off the bench as a right-handed hitter. So a very good option there. Moises Ballesteros is actually a really good catcher option. So you can get a first baseman and a catcher out of this. Not a great defensive catcher. Doesn't have any quirks, but 99-97 on contact, 82-69 on power, and 100 clutch is going to bump him up with runners in scoring position. A nice lefty. He can also play first base. So that's a good pickup. And then Mick Abel, not the best pitcher in the world, but also not horrible either. 83 hits per 9, and then his 92 pitching clutch does help him out. He's got fastball, 12-6, slider, sinker, circle change. This was a much better drop than the Spotlight 4 drop. We're actually going to go ahead and throw this one in the B tier. Maybe even move it up to A tier later. I don't know. We got some good programs to talk about, including probably this one. Jason Dominguez, May Spotlight drop number 2. This Jason Dominguez card, the final reward, very, very good. Switch hitter, can play any outfield position, although probably don't want him in center field. But 110.99, well, I've got him parallel 4, so let me do some math here. 106.95 against righties and 89.78 against lefties. But as you can see, you parallel him up a little bit. You get him boosted. 110 clutch there, so 106 base. So a very good card. Like I said, a switch hitter. I don't use him really online a whole lot because I have a better squad, but I mean 3 out of 8, batting 375 with 1 home run for me. So a very, very good card. And then he does really well offline for me. 424, 15 home runs in 42 hits. So one of my favorite cards, even though he is a Yankee. Steven Kolick, kind of similar to Mick Abel. He does have a little bit better of a pitch mix, sinker and cutter in there, although his Ks per 9 is a little bit low. And then this Matthew Lugo card, not the best, but also not the worst. He can play left field, center field, second base, third base, and shortstop. Decent fielding, so he can kind of play all over. Not great against lefties. Decent against righties. He's got the reverse splits. Y'all got on to me about saying reverse splits before. And then 91 clutch helps him out a little bit. So not a bad card. Not a bad card at all. This card, honestly, I'm going to slot it in like, we'll slot it in high B tier right now because I do think there's some better. Well, looking at these programs, honestly, nah, this is an A tier. This is an A tier program. That Dominguez card is really, really good. And then May Spotlight drop 1 is going to drop us back down a little bit. Kyle Stowers is an okay card. Not a fan of his swing. He can play first base, can play all outfield. So I'm trying not to be biased, but he's got a pretty slow swing in my opinion. Now, let me clarify. All swings move the same speed. It's all about feel, how the animation feels to you. But, I'm just not a fan of it. Zach Agnos here is not a bad relief pitcher. 112 hits per 9, 101 pitching clutch. At parallel 1, cutter splitter, 4-seam sweeper. Although there are better options out there. And then Kyle Manzardo does have a sweet swing. So honestly, the problem with this program is that the top reward is not great. The bottom rewards are pretty good. Plus, you get the packs and the XP in there. We'll go ahead and, if Wilmer Flores was a B, then this one is definitely going to sit in C tier. Kind of worth your time, but there are better ones out there. All right, April Spotlight Drop 5 is interesting because the rewards are pretty good. It kind of suffers with the same issue as the Stowers program in that this Wyatt Langford card, the final reward, is not that great. Obviously, he's a great fielder. He's got really good speed, but his hitting really suffers. But the lower rewards are pretty good. Pete Alonso, one of the better power hitting first basemen you can get in the game. His power plays up, definitely. His clutch is really good. He's got tons of quirks. Great first baseman. You get a deluxe choice pack in here. You get 2 spotlight packs. You get Luke Weaver, who's one of my favorite relievers in the game. It says he's got a 4.26 ERA, but I promise he plays pretty well for me. One of my favorite relievers because I've got him P3, but I mean, you can see he's up to 125 hits per 9, 125 pitching clutch. So great pitch mix there. Big fan of Luke Weaver. Brendan Donovan has a decent swing, nice little slappy contact hitter. Kind of a utility guy off the bench. I did not know he was born in Germany. Interesting. But gold hitting and defense for him. And then this Agustin Ramirez is a decent hitting catcher. The problem, and we've got Luke Keishel here. He's not very good. The problem with this program, it was the final drop of April, and it's longer than the other Spotlight programs. It is a heck of a grind. I'm talking many, many hours, and the final reward is not that great. The reason that it is a heck of a grind is because you can lock in for Corbin Carroll with all of the Spotlight cards. But we're not including the collections. Obviously, it is free to get them all done, but that's assuming you can get all of those done. And I just don't know that that's, necessarily something you can ask of the casual player. So, Wyatt Langford, that being said, I'm going to put it low B tier because I think the rewards are pretty good, but the grind is really, really long. So it really just kind of depends. The good thing is you can kind of stop at Pete Alonso unless you want that drop pack because Wyatt Langford's not really worth it. So you see right here, April Spotlight Drop 4, it's only 50 stars compared to the 100 stars for April Spotlight Drop 5. And overall, I think it's a better drop. You're going to get, 5,000 XP, you get your few packs, but Rhys Hoskins has one of the best right-handed swings in the game, in my opinion. Obviously, his contact versus right, not very good, but his clutch is going to help him play up. The rest of his hitting stats, very good. He's an okay fielder, but that doesn't really matter. But also, this Chandler Simpson card, very, very good outfielder. His fielding is kind of low, but the 99 speed helps with that. You can see that his contact starts off at 95, 94. I've got him up to P2. He's got 91 clutch, 99 speed. Great leadoff hitter or bottom of the order hitter who's out there for fielding. Really, really good starter center fielder. And then this Javier Sanoja is not bad at all. He can play a bunch of positions, left field, center field, all infield positions. So a nice utility player to have with pretty good fielding. So all of that being said, this one, honestly, I mean, we go back here. I would move this Wyatt Langford one to high C tier and put this Rhys Hoskins one like high B tier, only because of the length of the grind. You get similar. I mean, Hoskins is similar to Pete Alonso. I like Alonso a little better, but it's like double the grind to get him. And then Chandler Simpson and Javier Sanoja, really, really good options for a budget squad. All right, April Spotlight Drop 3 is highlighted by Kyron Paris, who is actually a pretty good option at second base. He's got okay fielding. It starts out at 80 base, and pretty good all around hitting with 101 clutch. He's got a pretty good swing. Mike Yastrzemski, a pretty good platoon hitter or pinch hitter, and then Gage Workman, not a very good card. So even though I do like Kyron Paris and I think it's a pretty decent card, I think this is going to be our first D tier one. These cards just don't really play anymore. You got better options, especially if you play multiplayer. That Brian Dozier card, which we're not covering the multiplayer program here, but that free Brian Dozier card, mwah, very good second baseman. Probably starts on my God squad. All right, April Spotlight Drop 2 is headlined by Trent Grisham, who has a sweet, sweet swing. The problem is that he's pretty slow in the outfield. He's only got 56 speed, so he's got good defense. So he's going to get good reactions for you. Although I've got him parallel 2 here, so 78 reaction at base is kind of iffy with 56 speed in center field. That being said, if you want him at DH, great DH. Really good hitter, has rally monkey, so not the best quirks, but great swing and just a really fun card to use. Carson Kelly, not an overall great card, and then Jacob Wilson, not either. Trent Grisham really kind of carries this drop, but he's kind of outdated as far as DHs go. I would probably honestly put this one like high D tier right here, right above Kyron Paris. All right, and then going back to our first spotlight drop of the year, not surprisingly, as we go back, these become a little bit less relevant. But this Jordan Westburg card was a pretty good card early on. These days, much better options at third base. Mackenzie Gore, though, I think is a pretty good option for a budget squad, a lefty with a little bit of a sneaky delivery. 97 mile an hour fastball. He's got slider, 12-6 circle change cutter. So no sinker, but that cutter goes 90 while the fastball goes 97. So you're probably going to get a lot of ground balls there. Kind of struggles with control. I have used him online a bit. He did okay. But you know, I think he's a decent card. He kind of is the shining part of this drop. So that being said, if a decent budget card is the shining part of the drop, I think you got to put it D tier as well. All right, moving on from the spotlight programs to the player programs. These are your cornerstone evolution programs. For those that don't know, every inning XP path has 3 cornerstone players, and you get them pretty early on in the XP path, and you're going to get a gold version. So for inning 3, it was Jim Palmer, Justin Turner, and Ralph Kiner. For inning 2, it was JD Martinez, Tony Clark, Bruce Sutter, and then Bobby Abreu, Dick Allen, and Ubaldo Jimenez for inning 1. They do give you a flashback round in these in case you missed out on them. So you can actually get the players from before. So if you haven't gotten them yet, don't worry. You can get them in the upcoming 4th inning. So once you unlock those players from those packs, that's when you kind of unlock the moments for these players. So you can really grind the programs. So just a little background there. They're all really easy programs. So that's going to help them in their rankings. But at the same time, they only give 1 player and a few packs. So that's probably going to hurt a little bit in their rankings, depending on the player. Let's start with old Jim Palmer. This is a prime example. So you're going to get 10K XP, 500 stubs, and 3 packs from each of these programs, which is pretty nice. They're really easy to complete. Just do the moments, and then like a couple of these missions with the gold card, and you're pretty much done. So really, really easy. Problem is this Jim Palmer card, not very good. He's got a 95 mile an hour fastball, 94 mile an hour sinker. He does have break outlier. Hey, I said outlier correctly. And a 72 mile an hour 12-6. So that's nice, but really easy to read. I'm just not a fan of Jim Palmer cards. We're actually going to throw this down in F tier right below Will Warren. Just really not worth it, in my opinion. All right, the next cornerstone player is Justin Turner. You get a gold Red Sox card to start it off, but once you evolve him, you get his classic Dodgers look. I love the cornerstone card art, by the way. This is a good card. Obviously, the power versus right leaves a lot to be desired. The 90 clutch is going to mess you up a little bit with that 125 contact left. It's going to bring it down a little bit. He's got some decent quirks. I do think there are better options out there as far as third base goes, especially with like Royce Lewis, Austin Riley from Team Affinity. But good third base and DH option. And for the time that it takes, Not really a bad grind at all. Honestly, I would put it right up there with this Wyatt Langford program, because even though you're only getting Justin Turner, you're spending like 30 minutes to an hour on this and like 8 hours on this program. So the reward to time spent ratio kind of brings them to the same level, in my opinion. Ralph Kiner program, very similar. You get the gold Ralph Kiner card, you upgrade him to the diamond. I'm a big fan of Ralph Kiner. I think his swing is fine. Some people say his swing is not very good. Who am I to argue? That being said, he really is a DH only. You really don't want him playing in the field. So I think he's right around the same as Justin Turner. We'll just kind of stick him. Like, I don't want to disrespect that spotlight program too much, but we'll stick him right there. If you need a right-handed DH, Ralph Kiner is great, but this guy might be even better. Aha, JD Martinez from the Red Sox. I interviewed JD Martinez, one of the best players in baseball. You ever seen that under every baseball post on Twitter? I digress. Anyway, JD Martinez is a great card. Again, with these, you're going to get, this one actually gives 6,000. Yeah, you get 10,000 XP, you get 500 stubs and 3 packs. And this JD Martinez card absolutely rips. Even still, he's got first pitch hitter and situational hitter. At base, looks like 101, 100 against righties, 104, 82 against lefties, and 104 clutch. As you can see, I've got him paralleled up a little bit. Great card for a DH. So that being said, compared to the Ralph Kiner program, similar, but I think JD Martinez plays better. We're going to throw this one up in B tier. I think JD Martinez can play on any ranked squad right now. All right, Tony Clark is the next program that we have. He is a switch hitting first baseman from the second inning XP path. Honestly, a good card when it dropped. As you can see, I don't have it paralleled because I didn't use it very much. A good card when it dropped, not as good now, but still pretty decent. Not very good defense, but it doesn't matter that much at first base. 81-92 against righties, 84-88 against lefties. This is a personal thing. He stands like straight up in his stance, and I'm not a big fan of that. That's why I don't use him too much. But I'll try not to be biased. A 6'7". Oh, sorry. I was thinking about him standing straight up. He's 6'7". He's tall. He stands straight up. It's a big strike zone, kind of like Aaron Judge. But a switch hitting first baseman, I'll try not to be biased. I do think he's a little bit outclassed here. I'm going to go ahead and put this probably at the top of C tier, right above Justin Turner. All right, Bruce Sutter. This might be a little controversial, but I think this Bruce Sutter card is great. That splitter is one of my favorite pitches in the game. He's got 99 control and 99 break on his splitter, and it moves 80 miles an hour compared to his 95 mile an hour fastball. He does have stopper, so you can bring him in when the team is behind. Road Warrior, Night Player, I have him P2, so at base, 103 hits per nine, 98 pitching clutch. So, and 90 walks per nine. So very good there. I think he's a very underrated pitcher. He barely misses out on my God Squad bullpen. But, I mean, I have some expensive cards in there that could easily be replaced by him. I think this is a very good card. This might be controversial, but given the lack of bullpen arms, if you want a junk pitcher like that, I think that's a low B tier program. All right, moving on to Dick Allen, from one of the new legends for MLB The Show. I really liked this card, but this was a first inning card. It's an 85. But hey, I mean, as you can see, I've got him P3. I used him a decent amount. 86-56 base against righties. 101-76 base against lefties, and 108 clutch against everybody, I guess. And a pretty good arm for third base. He can also play second base and shortstop. Of the first inning cards, which are starting to get, irrelevant, this one I think is the most relevant left. So I will go ahead and throw this one. Again, these are super easy programs, so keep that in mind. That's going to be like a low C tier. But then we move on and look at the other first inning programs. I do think both of these cards are kind of outclassed at this point. Ubaldo Jimenez does have 85 hits per nine, and actually, man, this Ubaldo Jimenez is not bad. 85 hits per nine, 83 base, 96 pitching clutch base. He's got good stamina. Now, his control leaves a lot to be desired. Look at his pitch mix up there. 78 control on his fastball is the best that he has. So that's where he's really going to struggle. And then his break is not great. So that's kind of where he loses me. His stuff is just not that good. He's going to throw some flat stuff. I don't think I ever used him online. Yeah, I never used him online, but I don't know. He's a little bit better than I expected, but again, no control. So if you're playing on Hall of Fame or higher, he's probably going to struggle, and then no real break. I mean, his splitter is okay, but just not a fan in general. I do think he has a chance at having a good card when he gets a higher overall, but this one's going to go like right above the Jordan Westberg program for me, if it'll stick there. And then this Bobby Abreu card, this one really is kind of outclassed. 103 discipline and 99 durability. They boosted this stuff they didn't need to boost. 87-75 against righties, 79-56 against lefties, 94 clutch. I'm not a very good fielder. This is not a good card, even with the lack of effort involved in it. This is going to be another F tier program, even below Jim Palmer. All right, now we get into the meat and potatoes, the themed programs here. Let's start off with the Elly De La Cruz Takeover program. So I'm assuming, so we had 3 cover athletes this year, Elly De La Cruz, Paul Skeens, and Gunnar Henderson. I'm assuming that we're going to get a Gunnar Henderson and Paul Skeens takeover at some point, which will be absolutely dope. But this was just basically a way to highlight Elly De La Cruz, which was really cool. A nice short program that we got. Looks like 4,000, 8,000, 12,000, 16,000 plus 4, 8, 12, 1,600. So 17,600 XP, 2 packs, and this 90 overall Elly De La Cruz. I've got him P2, so obviously the first thing that stands out, his hitting is not great. 82 and 85 against righties, 70-70 against lefties. He does have 80 clutch base, so that's nice. Now, he's got a great swing. He's a switch hitter, and he's elite defensively. Elite. He only gets a gold badge, I guess, because of his arm accuracy, but 97 fielding, or I guess 95 base, 99 arm, 99 speed, plus he's 6'5", so he covers a ton of ground at shortstop. He can also play third base, so really, really great defensive player, okay offensive player. All you really got to do, let's see, it's 44 stars, so 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. You get pretty much halfway done by doing the moments, and then you just got to get some hits and extra base hits with shortstop, switch hitters, reds. It's a really, really easy, simple program for a card that you can play on a nice budget squad. Now, that being said, you do only get the 1 card, and I do think Elly is outshined by some cards, but it's got to be better than some of these spotlight or cornerstone programs. I mean, considering the ease of use and the ton of XP that you get, I'm going to put it like right below this JD Martinez program. I do think JD is a better hitter, but Elly's fun though, right, man? All right, next up is the Fire and Finesse program. Another one of these programs that they gave us where you only get 1 player, but you get other stuff too. 15,000, 19,000, 22,000, 24, 25,000 XP you get out of this, plus 3 show packs. And then the big one is Dustin May is the only card reward, and I think he is a top 5 to 8 starting pitcher in the game. So it's a pretty easy program. Again, go through, do a bunch of moments, and then clean it up with these stat missions. And the stat missions are super easy because all you have to do is get innings pitched, right? You have to get strikeouts on 2 of them, but that's it. The rest are just like innings pitched. So really, really easy, and you get one of the best starting pitchers in the game. Now, I do hate that they are releasing these programs with only 1 player in them. We'll get a couple more here, but I do think this is an A tier program because it's quick, easy, you get a ton of XP, and you get one of the best starting pitchers in the game. All right, moving on now to the Rolen and the Reds program. So when they released the 99 overall Scott Rolen Legends and Flashbacks collection, they were like, oh my gosh, this is a new legend. Not everybody's going to be able to get him. Why don't we drop a program the same day with a lower rated Scott Rolen so that fans of Scott Rolen can have access to him? Which is awesome. Good on USDS. That's a great thing. But also, they happen to include one of my favorite starting pitchers in this program, which I really love. Let's count up the XP and packs. You get 2015, so 20,000 XP. You're going to get 3 packs along with this. And then you're going to get this Jim Edmonds card, which is a fun BR card, but that doesn't really do much for you with the card in the inventory. So it doesn't really do much there. This Scott Rowland card, look, some people say that Scott Rowland's swing is not very good. I like it. And it might just be because I'm using the 99. But I think this is a decent card. Now, it doesn't play over other top options. The real gem of this program is Johnny Cueto. I have him P4. As you can see, I use him online in ranked. 4 games, 26 innings pitched, a 3.12 ERA, a .69 whip. Nice. 19 strikeouts, 2 complete games for me. He's one of my favorite pitchers in the game. Base 85 hits per 9, 85 pitching clutch. So he's even no matter like if runners are on base or not, he's going to perform the same. His Ks per 9 is a little bit low, so that's a little disappointing. No quirks, but I promise you, man, he plays well. Fastball, slider, sinker, circle change, cutter. Good control, except for on the slider and cutter. Decent break all around. He's gross. And I said this in my starting pitcher tier list. He like turns his back to you before he pitches and hides the ball. And it just makes it really hard to read the ball coming out of his hand. So I'm a big fan of Johnny Cueto. You get a lot of stuff in this. You do a bunch of moments here and just a few missions. Super, super easy. That being said, it's got to go right here, up here in A tier with the Jason Dominguez program and the Fire and Finesse. All right, next up, we have the Jackie Robinson Day program. Obviously, this dropped on 4/2 for number 42, Jackie Robinson. And this is one of my favorite programs because it's super interactive. You go to a lot of different game modes and you get a bunch of rewards and you get to complete a collection for free. So first of all, the star of the program is Jackie Robinson. This is a lower rated Jackie Robinson. I know we'll get a more juiced one later on, but he plays really well. 90 plus contact on both sides. His power leaves a lot to be desired, but he's nice and fast, has good fielding. You're also going to get this Rube Foster, who is sneaky. I like to call him Budget Fernando Valenzuela because he's got the 97 mile an hour fastball and the 80 mile an hour screwball. So a fun player. And like a lot of these Negro Leagues players, he is a two-way player. He can play first base and right field. So a lot of fun with that. You're going to get Leon Day. Not a huge fan of him as a pitcher. Decent outfielder there. Just an okay card. Same thing with Rap Dixon. I like him a little bit more than Leon Day as far as his utility, just because he's a little bit better of a fielder. He can kind of play everywhere, but he's just okay. Andy Cooper, again, not a huge fan of this card. He's just a starting pitcher. So you're going to get all these cards. You're going to get 2,000, 4,000, 6, 10, 14, 20, 35,000 XP. 35,000 XP, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packs, which is all great. So you get a ton of stuff. But here's the thing. You make progress in this by doing the showdown, right? Well, by completing the showdown, you get to choose 2 more players. Then if you do it twice, you get to choose 2 more players. There's 4 total players available from the showdown. You can also make progress on this program by collecting the Negro League's storylines players. So there's more than just these 5 players. You can collect them. You play through the storylines. That's more players that you get. Now, I'm leading up to something. There's also a conquest map. The 42 conquest map has rewards, like player rewards in it. So, well, maybe just 1 player reward. You play through it and you get this 87 Hilton Smith. Technically not part of the program, but these are all free cards. And you go into collections and go to Legends and Flashbacks. Go to your Negro Leagues collections. So these top 4 cards here, Martin Dihigo, Josh Gibson, John Donaldson, and Satchel Paige, cannot be part of the collection. Or they can be part of the collection, but Paige, Gibson, and Dihigo cost coin, and Donaldson is the collection reward. So ignore those, but every other card down here, these 20 cards, you get for free, either from completing the program, doing the collection. This Larry Doby that you get at 13 cards is really, really great, has a super glitchy swing, or by doing the showdown, the Negro League storylines, or the conquest map. Buck O'Neil is one of the cards you can get from the showdown. Tony Stone is one of the cards you can get from the showdown. I believe Jose Mendez is one of the cards you can get from the Showdown. And I think Bill Foster is the other one. Yeah. So you get all those from Showdown. You get these cards from Storylines, all these for free. And your collection reward is John Donaldson. And if you've been noticing, if you've been following my tier list, he's one of 3 S tier pitchers we have in the game right now. And just to note, center field secondary, you can bring him in as a pinch runner or something, or a defensive replacement when you want. So all in all, a lot of stuff to do and a lot of rewards, and one of the best free rewards in the game. It is a lot of grinding, but I do think this is our first S tier program, only because you can get John Donaldson for free. And if you think I'm overstating how good John Donaldson is, I mean, look, I've used him 3 starts online in ranked. So I don't spam him, don't get on me, but 18 innings pitched, 0 ERA, 0.33 whip. You can see he's faced 60 batters and he's gotten 33 strikeouts, only 6 hits. All right, next up is the Last Ride program, near and dear to me because I'm a Red Sox guy. It's got Big Papi in it. He is a good card. You can see I have him P5, but his base stats are going to be 97 contact right and 105 power right. So 97, 105 against righties, 96, 71 against lefties, and then 106 clutch. Obviously, this is what he looks like if you get him maxed out. 81 vision. I mean, he's a great DH. All the quirks that you need. His fielding is super low, 41 base fielding. Honestly, I'd say fielding doesn't matter very much at first base, but 41 fielding is tough to play. But a great DH. This Mike Mussina is an okay card. He's got really great control, but really low hits per 9. And then you're also going to get 1, 2, 3, so 5, 8,000 XP and 3 packs. And it's a pretty easy program to do. So that being said, we'll go ahead and throw this one. I think this is probably like high B tier, honestly, like right up here above Reese Hoskins. All right, looking at a fan favorite program, the Egg Hunt program. Jazz Chisholm Jr. is the final reward. Not a very good card. Let's just be honest. 84, 87 against righties, 72, 72 against lefties, 83 clutch. You can see I don't even have him P1, and I have every card parallel 1. So that stinks. You do get a deluxe Egg Hunt pack, which is great. Although if you get any of these 85s, which you're likely to get, it's only like 2K stubs. Riley Green is a decent card, but kind of a platoon hitter. None of these cards are really that great, if I'm being completely honest with you. You do get to complete a collection for the Egg Hunt, but the truth is you got to go through. I mean, there's a Diamond Quest available to get Lucas Erceg, who's one of my favorite relief pitchers. But past that, I mean, this program didn't really do it for me. Honestly, the best cards that come out of the Egg Hunt are Tim Raines, which is in a pack, Jorge Polanco, which is in packs, and Shea Langeliers, which is in packs. Lucas Erceg is in Diamond Quest, so that's awesome. Jacob deGrom, underwhelming for a top collection reward. Honestly, these two are the other 2 best cards. So if you can play the program and collect enough cards to get PCA, that's really, really nice. He plays above his hitting stats, and obviously he's a perfect defender. And then Ryan McMahon is a really, really, really good left-handed third baseman and second baseman. So really good option with really good fielding. Honestly, I should play him more. I only played him online a little bit, but he crushed offline for me, as you can see. You can tell I'm kind of lukewarm on this program. It was kind of fun, but honestly, for the time and effort, I'd rather just grind out a couple of cornerstone programs. This one goes like mid C tier for me. All right, taking a look at the Common Courtesy program. This was an April Fool's Day program. So first of all, we'll look at the XP. You get 3, 6, 10. You get 10,000 XP. So that's really nice. You get a few packs and like 500 stubs. So you get these common cards, which was like the April Fool's part of it. But then the next day they were like, haha, joke's on you. You can go in and collect them and you'll get diamond versions of each of the cards. The problem is none of these cards are great. Richie Ashburn is okay. Not an elite fielder, has really high contact, not a great swing, super low power. Vita Blue is going to have a better card. This one, not very good. Joe Morgan, This card, I can't believe it's even a diamond. Stan Musial's the best one. He's a good card. You don't want to play him in center field or really in the outfield at all, but you can play him at first base or DH. Got a decent swing. He's the best card of the bunch. It's a pretty easy program to complete. I did forget that Stan Musial was pretty decent. So that being said, it's just not a great return on time overall. I'll put it like high D tier. I mean, Trent Grisham, Stan Musial, pick your poison. All right, getting into a couple of these earlier programs, they're going to be less and less relevant. This Yamamoto was decent when we first got him. Definitely outclassed now. Same with Seiya Suzuki. Shota Imanaga, pretty much the same. Pretty outclassed. Not great overall. This Shohei card was fun, but I mean, obviously he's not great at all. You get decent XP for it, but really not worth your time these days. Kind of the same thing with the starter program, or definitely the same thing with the starter program. It's super, super, super easy to do, but none of these cards are going to make your team anymore. So I just wanted to go through those really quick. They're just not super relevant anymore. We can go ahead and throw Tokyo Series is like low D tier, and then obviously the starter program is going to be F tier. All right, looking at the new Threads program. This was an early program that kind of celebrated players that are on new teams this year. Max Scherzer was the final reward. I think this is a pretty good card, especially if you're playing up on Hall of Fame or Legend, but where velocity plays up a little bit. Obviously, he doesn't have quirks, but 90 hits per nine, 83 pitching clutch is not horrible. 99 break is good. His control does leave a little bit to be desired. So he's a good budget card, not an elite card. You do get a deluxe new Threads pack with a chance to pull like Cody Bellinger or Corbin Burns, which would be super great, but you will likely pull one of these gold cards, so it's not that great. Gleyber Torres is a good second base option, although his defense is not that great. And then you also get a pipeline pack, which, again, these high diamonds are pretty decent, especially Campbell and Meyer go Sox, but you will likely get one of these low gold cards. So not super great there. Jorge Soler is a decent DH option, but we've got better options out there for less effort, like JD Martinez. And then these gold cards are not that great. The saving grace kind of this program is that there is a diamond quest that gets you 4 more cards. And then, for free, you can get this Alex Bregman. So you'll have 10 cards and you'll be able to collect. He's a decent third base option. But honestly, these are a bit outclassed these days. So that being said, we'll go ahead and this one is like, I think it's like C tier, honestly. They can play, but do you really want to play these cards? Nah. Oh, the Spring Breakout program. It used to be elite. These days, it's just too much effort, honestly. You do get a lot of XP, 25,000, 30,000, 35,000, 40,000, 45. So you do get 50,000 XP from it. So that's nice. But it is a long grind, and Max Clark's okay, but there's definitely better options like PCA or the Victor Scott from Team Affinity out there now. JJ Weatherholt is definitely outclassed these days. And the best part about this program in particular was that you could complete it and get the cards from the showdown, and you could get this Leo DeVry for free. And this card was elite for a long time. Still plays pretty well, but just not worth it for the grind, because you do have to do the showdown 4 times to get the 4 cards from the showdown. And I know people don't really mess with that. So you can get Leo DeVry for free. You get 50,000 XP, but your time could really probably be better spent grinding some of these higher programs. Oh man, I didn't mean to right click. JJ Weatherholt, you're going to go right down here with Tokyo Series, where you're just outclassed at this point. All right, the Pipeline program, celebrating some of the top prospects in the league. Some of these cards are outclassed now. Dalton Rushing is a good budget catcher. I really love his swing. Jordan Lawler, really outclassed. Walker Jenkins was kind of outclassed about a week after he was released. So honestly, not going to spend too much time on this one. If you want to complete the collection, you get a lot of cards towards it. So you can get this Carson Williams, but you are going to have to pay up for Roman Anthony and Roki Sasaki. And since we're focused on grinding only, this program really, really outdated. Just going to go right down here with the Tokyo Series and Spring Breakout program. Now, let's hop into 3 more recent juicy programs. First up, you got the Moonshot program. This is a long program, but totally worth it. First of all, this Brian Roberts Elite. I've got him P3, so his base stats are 192 against righties, 88, 90 against lefties, and 95 clutch. He's got 75 vision base, decent speed, decent fielding. He is a switch hitter with a good swing. He's got dead red, which is one of the most important quirks to have. He can smash them fastballs. You're going to get one Eclipse pack, which can have Heimer Candelario, which would be really dope. Not only is he really great, but he sells for like 150K. It could have Lou Brock, who's not that great, but sells for a lot less than Heimer Candelario. Could have some of these higher cards, probably one of these lower cards, but luckily these lower cards are not bad. So you're going to get those. You're going to get one full moon pack. It's going to have one of these cards in it. These lower cards are pretty good. I love this Colt Keith. This Kerry Carpenter plays pretty well. This Dalton Varsho is not bad. So if you get lucky, and obviously this Jock Peterson and Bo Bichette, both great. So if you get lucky, that would be nice. You're going to get this Roberto Clemente, one of the best Roberto Clementes we've gotten that's not a 99 because he's got power. 90-81 against righties, 193 against lefties, 105 clutch. They do nerf his speed and fielding a little bit. These are kind of like the Home Run Derby series cards in the sense that their power is kind of juiced. Luis Arias, a classic contact hitter with a great swing, gets his power juiced. A good player that can play first base. I wouldn't put him at second base or third base, but, still can play. Josh H. Smith, third base, bats left, can play first base, shortstop, or left field. 90-87 against righties, 97-101 against lefties, 101 clutch. I mean, these are good cards. Jose Siri, not as much. More of like a fun BR card, but still a fun card. And then you get these common pitchers. These were to be used in the Moonshot program, just to give you some fun pitchers to use in the Moonshot program. So let's see how many cards. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cards here. So if you go into your Moonshot series collection, that's gonna leave you 4 cards short of Carlos Delgado. You can get those 4 cards in a Diamond Quest or mini season. So Carlos Delgado is technically free and is a great card. So really, really big fan of this program. Can get you some really good power, and it's pretty easy to complete. You just got to hit a bunch of home runs. So go to Costco, go to Coors Field. You're going to get about 20,000 XP as well. This, for me, is going to be our top-ranked program so far. I think it was great. All right, let's talk about the 20 in June Sammy Sosa program. The only program that I don't have completed, and that's because it's a month-long program. They're trying something different. Sammy Sosa hit 20 home runs in June of 1998 when he was doing the home run race with Mark McGwire, and they're going to give us moments like to match up with the home runs. So every day that he hit a home run in 98, we'll get a moment to hit a home run in this game. And at the end, you're going to get this Sammy Sosa card, which I think looks amazing. Now, will he be as good at the end of the month compared to other options? That's something we don't really know. He does have dead red, situational hitter, first pitch hitter, 100, 125 against righties, 92, 102 against lefties, 101 clutch. The vision leaves a little bit to be desired. The fielding leaves a little bit to be desired, but it is a great card. Really, really good card. You get 2 May Spotlight Drop 4 packs along the way. You get a bunch of show packs and XP along the way. But again, it's a month-long program. It's different. It's weird. I'm kind of wait and see on it. I'm going to put it low A tier because it seems like the effort is like a daily thing. You know, maybe you log in one day and catch up on moments from the past week, you know, hit a few home runs and be caught up. I just don't know how that Sammy's going to play when he comes out. And then last but not least, we have the MLB Rivalry Weekend program. Only 2 cards in this program, but you do get some packs in XP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packs, and you're going to get 1,000, 3,000, 6,000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 XP, plus 500, 750 stubs. Woohoo! Hunter Brown is an okay card. I don't think he's great. He does have breakout leer. He's got high hits per 9 and pitching clutch. I just don't think his pitch mix is that great. His 4-seam and 2-seam go the same speed. His cutter's only a little bit slower. The knuckle curve is kind of useless in this game, and his circle change is okay. That being said, if you're looking for a starting pitcher, he can definitely be plugged in there. This Adolis Garcia, though, I think got overshadowed a lot because Byron Buxton dropped, and so did George Springer right at the same time. But this is an awesome card. I've got him P3, so we do math. 90-92 against righties, 88-90 against lefties, 95 clutch. Got good fielding, decent speed, a great arm in right field. I would gladly play this card in ranked. So that being said, not very much effort involved. You get good XP. You get a really good fielding card, a decent pitcher card. I think this is going to be high A tier, above Dustin May, like right below S tier. And that's going to do it. Those are all the programs that we have so far. We've got new programs coming up this week. The Lou Gehrig Day program, new Spotlight programs. I think they've got a new card series coming in a program. So a lot of fun stuff to come. But if you're grinding, this is how I would prioritize it. Work on these programs. Hopefully you learn from this what you're going to do. Get your squad right for whatever. If you want to play mini seasons on GOAT, if you want to play BR, well, that doesn't really apply. Cut that. If you want to play ranked, if you want to play events, it doesn't matter. Get your lineup right. Hey, I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if I missed anything or if you disagree with anything. As always, you're super appreciated. I will catch you next time. Peace out.